Bartley is passionate about raising the bar in the recruitment industry and has more than 17 years' experience across a range of sectors. She began her career working with multinational companies out of Sydney before returning home to Newcastle, joining Richardson Recruitment in 2001, where she worked with Ali Kamali. Ali and Sally established People Fusion in 2007, and their business partnership is one of the strongest in the region. Sally is an accredited professional recruiter with the industry body Recruitment and Consulting Services Association, is a member of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, mentors emerging and aspiring recruitment leaders, and is currently completing a diploma of workplace and business coaching. Welcome, Sally. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Holly.
Could you tell us a little bit about your career path to start?
Oh yes, very interesting. So my career actually started from a very young age. Both of my sets of parents actually were in small business and successful small businesses. So I watched them from the dining room table work very hard. So I was involved with business and my career path from an early age. I got the hunger for wanting to know more and learn, and learnt all about dealing with people and hearing about their staffing issues and things like that. So when I went into my first role, I was employed at McDonald's and worked there and learnt lots about customer service before going overseas, and had a few years, as a lot of people did, and went and worked over in London, which was exciting. And then came back to Australia and found really what I would say would be my first real role, if you like, in the industry that I'm in now, in Sydney, and I got my first opportunity to work in recruitment. So when I learnt what recruitment was all about, because I truly didn't know anything about it, I just became fascinated with helping people and helping them on their journey and with their career path. So I had some great years in Sydney and just missed Newcastle and decided to come back, and I was very fortunate to come back to a new business that was only really a year old at the time, and come and work in their permanent division, and over time work with the director there to help her run and operate that business. And myself and a colleague of mine who worked together for a very long time, and we'd actually gone to school together as well, had a great opportunity to do a management buyout of that business. So my career has been one that has been very adventurous, and one that I've thoroughly enjoyed because I've been surrounded by great people. And I guess leading me up to today, which is Director of People Fusion.
What do you believe has shaped your leadership style?
I think my leadership style has been shaped by working with other leaders. So I've always looked up to other leaders and worked out who would I like to follow, not just a leader by title, but who do I actually feel inspired by. And I've been really fortunate to have worked around some great leaders. So my leadership style it's always evolving. It's certainly not stagnated. I think it's really important to always check in and seek feedback and honest feedback. And make sure that your style is interchangeable, because every person's different. So what style will work for one person won't work for the other. And in fact, very recently, and I'm almost completed my workplace and business coaching, which has again transformed my leadership style in terms of being able to have more open conversations and more in that mentoring and coaching space. And also looking at things that I haven't enjoyed when I've been, managed in the past, and thinking, well, how am I perceived with my team or the people that I'm working with? So always making sure that my style and where I'm going is really fit for purpose. And I think from a style perspective, again, being important that you can change that around. But where am I going, or where is the business going? If ever I've felt like my leadership has been truly lacking, I can always go back to one point of reference, and that is because perhaps I didn't have a clear vision, or I wasn't able to articulate that vision. So for me, I'm always checking in on that and making sure, do I have a purpose? Do I have a vision? And am I able to share that with my team or the people that I'm in business with or doing business with, so that they can choose to come on the journey with me if that's what they'd like to do.
Sally, what is one action or task you ensure you incorporate into your diary each week?
Look, I have a few. I think one of the really important ones is staying connected with the team. So for me, every week we have 3 toolies or huddles. They're of a morning, they're really outcome driven, action based, great update. So I do not like to miss them at all. Even if I'm travelling, I'll dial in and be able to hear what's happening absolutely on the ground, because I'm very hands-on in the business and what I do, and it's what I love. So it's making sure that I understand where each person is up to, because as a leader it also allows me to triage exactly who might need support from me, and it could be that immediate support that I can provide in that huddle, or it may be ongoing where they've got quite a tricky assignment that they're working on. So my weekly sort of huddles are an absolute must for me, and I must say, if I do have to miss one, I really feel quite lost. So yeah, I think just having that constant finger on the pulse and checking in, and for the team to know that you're absolutely there at those times through the week to have a conversation is really critical.
What do you believe makes business unique in the Hunter?
I think one point of difference that makes business unique in the Hunter is I get the sense of that real genuine passion for businesses and business leaders and managers, whoever it may be, to genuinely want to connect and help other businesses, which sometimes we can take for granted. And it's not till we step outside of our business community that we might realise that that's not the case in all areas. And I've certainly experienced it as a business owner myself, the actual genuine desire for other business leaders to want to engage and help. And I think that's been really important to the success of our business. So for me, it's about that, real desire to connect, be involved, to help one another. And a lot of, mentoring happens, it's not perhaps called that, but certainly a lot of catch-ups and coffees do happen around town. And I think we're very lucky in our business community to have that. So yes, I think that would be what I would say is quite unique.
So to finish today, Sally, what local business person do you find inspiring?
That is a really hard question. I do actually have a few. I hope that's okay. Look, the first one comes to mind, Beulah Richardson, who was the founder of part of our business, is a true inspiration to me. I was really fortunate to have a lot of years working side by side, watched her go through many different economic times, different changes in the way that business was going, so from completely manual to a really digitally based business. So I watched her just continue to strive for excellence. So I'm still inspired by her, and in fact she's a great friend and mentor to me and my business partner Ali still today, which is wonderful. I'm also really fortunate to have Terry Lawler as our chairperson, who I see doing great things with other boards. Obviously he's had a very successful career history in Newcastle with Lawler Partners, a local success story that really should be celebrated. Now PKF, it's just wonderful. And the different work that he does with different boards and gives so graciously of his time, and a very humble man. And then for me, one career that absolutely inspires me is Cole Loads. What a great fellow and person, but having built such a great business with Auto Advantage with Simon, and then watching him go from strength to strength with NRMA. So yes, it's surrounding myself with people like that, and just being very fortunate to have been able to watch them in business and be inspired by those great people is something that I've really enjoyed, and I don't take for granted, that's for sure.
What a great note to finish on. Thanks so much for your time today, Sally.
Thank you, Holly. It's been a pleasure.